Good day, good day, good day, good day. We are back again. How you doing? How's been your day? I trust these lectures have been helpful and educative, and I trust you've been able to gain a lot from what we've done so far. And I trust you're going to gain a lot from what we are going to be doing from henceforth too. So in our last class we talked about HTML tables, and we just saw how to construct not construct actually, how to make tables. Let me put it that way. The grammar is quite technical, so to make tables in HTML, and yeah. So today we'll be looking at HTML attributes, and so let's go forward. So HTML attributes are special snippets of information that provide additional information about HTML elements. Any elements can have attributes. They are usually specified in the opening tag. They usually come in key value pairs. Syntax is key and value. So these are the key value pairs. So this is the key and the value. So for example, now we have P class and a par. That's the class name. So this class is the key, and this a par wrapped inside quotes is the value. So we can have many attributes in an opening tag. So P class is equal to class ID, and ID is an HTML paragraph. So let's go for these are just examples. So let's go forward and then let's go there. The class attribute. The class attribute specifies one or more class names for an HTML element. There can be multiple class names in an HTML element, but separated by space. Different elements can make use of the same class name. So for example, let's go to our editor. That's the reliable and ever-dependent Visual Studio Code. So HTML5 as we usually do. Sorry for that. And we have version 11. Yeah. So let's say we have the this is the first paragraph. So and let's give this class first. Okay, now let's see, we have another. I want to show you how this class works. So we have, let's see, we have another P, and then this one doesn't have a class, or let's say the class is second. So this is so second paragraph. Boom. So now let's just say we want to add a style to it, and then so we say style. Then now we have to be, we say, for example, now let's just say we want to just give the first paragraph a color, a blue color. So how do we target that specifically? That's where the class comes in. So we just say when you want to use class in CSS, when you want to refer to a class in CSS, use the dot in front of it, then the class name, which is first in this case here. So that's first, and you say what color? Color is what? Blue. So when we go back here and we reload, you see, targeted. Or you can do it this way too. You can just say P. That is, you are referring to a paragraph. So P, that's first, color blue. So reload is the same thing. So can do that way. So now this second, now let's say want to give the second color red color. So P, that's second, and that will be color red. And so we come here to our browser, and when we reload, there it is. So we have that, and so let's go forward so that I can target specific elements with a class. So different elements can also make use of the same class name. So let's demonstrate that too. Now let's say I have a div, and inside this div under I have another paragraph. Now this is the first paragraph in the div, and I want it to have the same attributes of our first class first. So I'll just give it the same name, and this is the first div paragraph, and then I'll come back. See, that's taking on the properties of the first p tag that we had there. So that's how we can target. That's how different elements can make use of the same class name. So or we can even let's use a span, so you can see span, and then I'll change this to span. So let's see, will it work or will it not work? It won't work. So you see, do you know why? Do you know why it won't work? Because we are using what? P that's first. So if we go back to the first style we used when we removed the P, because that one is specifically for the P. So that's referring to all P elements that have the class name of first. So this is a span and it's not a P tag. So automatically that disqualifies it from having that that characteristic or that possess that property. So if we use that, then we can target any element. If we use without specifying which kind of tag is used for. So dot first, since we have two dots first here, so you are just referring to the class name without referring to the tag where they are contained. So that's why we're able to do that. That's how we're able to do that. So that's how we can target two different elements with the same class name with the dot. So with the ID attribute specifies a unique ID for an HTML element. It cannot be duplicated by any other element. It can only hold one value. Get that? So let's go to our young man here, and we want to demonstrate with the ID. So let's just change this to ID, and ID to ID. Now we're gonna see something. So now for the class we use dot. Now when we're using ID, we're going to use the hashtag. So hashtag second. So when we check this, we're gonna see. So that's about the ID. So remember, the ID is unique. So that means that ID is supposed to be special. That is supposed to use by one element. So this is what I just did here is very, very bad practice. I just wanted to show you that although the browser will actually render it and give it the required styling, but it's a very, very bad practice. For example, now if you want to target ID first for a particular thing, maybe with JavaScript now, you have a problem. So what we're gonna do is that when you're using ID, we have to use it for a particular element, a single element, and no other element must have that same ID. That's for ID. So in order to correct our missteps, then we say d first. So then we have to style this specifically on its own. Hashtag div first, and then color is blue. So and reload. So now this is good practice because the two IDs have different, they are different IDs. So that is that about ID. So class can be shared by multiple elements, but ID must be for only one element. So that's why it says ID attribute specifies a unique ID for an HTML element, and it cannot be duplicated by any other element. It can hold only one value. So that's just it. This is the use case of the class and ID attributes.